This section is on environment, agriculture and energy. We have an agricultural sector that's basically on its knees because for so long the market was skewed by production subsidies, and that support has now been significantly reduced and converted to an area payment, which is the Countryside Care Scheme. And unfortunately this scheme doesn't have any protection. There's no protection to go with the scheme. The consequence is that the farming industry is minimally supported in a way which offers no incentive to produce anything the public may actually want, and it's therefore being eroded by importation subsidised from elsewhere. Given the current global trends, I feel that it's extremely unwise to leave our food security's chance like this, and at the same time ignoring farming from a public health and therefore cost perspective is economic lunacy. We must remain realistic that the Isle of Man isn't going to compete in global commodity markets where subsidies are used for geopolitical ends by world superpowers. We have the potential to produce incredibly high quality food with near perfect traceability and low environmental costs. The only thing missing is the political will to provide protection to those sectors. Until we have a much wider debate on where we're heading as a society, an intrinsic link between food, good health and quality of life, the current trajectory is not going to change. Looking beyond food, we have another area where our lack of political effectiveness is doing great harm. In 2010, the government commissioned the AEA to produce a report into renewable energy options that we should be considering. It can be found here and there'll be a link below. In summary, the report is brilliant, I think, and the key recommendation was that we should focus our efforts on switching to biomass as a key energy sector, from domestic all the way through to national. It identified the fact that we already have generation capacity in this area with the energy from waste plant, which is the incinerator. We already have a cable connecting us to a neighbouring jurisdiction who are running out of generation capacity, which is a ready-made market. And we have an agricultural sector desperate for something to do, easily capable of producing our own energy, and we're currently paying them to do nothing. In short, this was and is still a massive ready-made opportunity. I attended the public presentation at the Manx Museum in 2010 and was very impressed, mainly because I'd made the same recommendations to the government myself in 2009, after I started importing biomass which could easily be produced here. What happened next? The very same year the government approved the spending of £23.5 million on a new gas pipeline, which to my mind was a total dead-end investment. If that money had been spent on developing a national energy production strategy as recommended, we'd be well on our way to producing to energy independence by now and to plugging one of the biggest holes in our economic bucket. The amount of money that's spent on energy on the Isle of Man is significant, and we could be keeping an awful lot of that here, just through some pretty basic steps. Has anything changed since then? Not much. All the factors that are present in the report are still valid now, probably even more valid because all of the costs of energy have gone up, have risen since. You'll no doubt be aware that we are going to be expected to pay an increased cost for running the energy from waste plant, the incinerator, over the coming years through rates. And this is a piece of national infrastructure that you paid for in the first place, and then it was sold. This infrastructure could easily be making money for us and not costing us. So what's the problem? The problem is political system, the way the decisions are made. The MEA needs to maintain high energy prices in order to pay off its questionably incurred debts. And so this has made it a political no-go area. The MEA debts are not an insurmountable problem. And with the application of public pressure, this entire sector could be reorganised to the benefit of the public, not to be the millstone round our necks as it is at present. As a bonus, switching to producing our own energy would further drive the Isle of Man towards carbon neutrality and improve our energy security by eventually uncoupling us from international energy markets and their inherent ethical consequences. It's possible if we demand it together. The next video will be on transport and infrastructure, and I'll start a new video for that.